Hey everyone, this is Rachel. Thanks for clicking on my video. And y'all, I came in to talk about Lori Harvey and Michael B. Jordan calling it quits. I've been out on social media and I see all this hubbub going on about this breakup. And I just wanted to weigh in on it and put my perspective on it. So, Lori Harvey, y'all know I don't have to tell y'all who that is. That's Steve Harvey's stepdaughter, because it ain't his real daughter, but that's another story. And then Michael B. Jordan. They've been together for a little over a year. Seemed like they were really a cute little couple, and we were hoping that they went the distance. But they broke up here lately. Said they were heartbroken, and it just killed them to break up. So we're like, why y'all broke up? A lot of people speculated that he wanted to get married and she didn't. They said she was from man to man and that this ain't her, and that's what it was. Now, when I heard it, I felt a little different. The young man, Michael, he is 35. He's been out here a while and he met someone that he clearly was feeling. And I believe that he probably does or did want to take it to another level. I heard that he bought a 12 point something $1 million home. And Lori Harvey is only 25 years old. Now, y'all, I'm going to use my kids because roughly they are those two ages. My son is 35. Now, my daughter is a little bit older than Lori Harvey. My daughter is 27. So I'm going to tell you what advice that I would give both of them. So let's start with my son. He is Michael because he is 35. So just say my son had met this girl. And I clearly see he was feeling her. And it was looking like this is the one for him. Now, this is in his eyes. And, he kind of approached her about making this a little bit more permanent thing. And he wasn't getting that same feeling back. I would tell him to move on. You know, move on because you want someone that is ready for what you're ready for. I would tell him in defense of her, she's not where you are. Remember, she's 10 years younger than you. She's still got some little oats to sow. Move on. You will find the person that is ready when you're ready. You know, the fact that it is not working to where you want it to be means that it's not meant to be. There's somebody else out there for you. Now, if it was my daughter and she's Lori and, you know, she's 25, I wouldn't expect her to want to be married at 25. I will look at it this way. We live in a different world than what we used to live in. First of all, we're living longer. So, in this grand scheme of things, a woman that's 25 is pretty much just got out here. I know that y'all talk about her jumping from man to man and, she's always with somebody with money. Now, I want to address both of those. Her dating multiple guys and having a relationship here, the relationship there. Next thing we know, she was somebody else. I honestly don't have a problem with that. I think that's what she should be doing. Okay, and that's what I tell my daughter to do. Have as much fun, date all kinds of guys, so you will know exactly who you want, exactly what type of man you want. Just because you're dating someone, now I'm not talking about Lori, okay? I'm talking about my daughter. Just because you're dating someone don't mean you're sleeping with all of them. So let's get that straight. But they should be sowing their wild oats. They should be out there experiencing all different types of men. Just like men, like we tell our sons, sow your wild oats before you settle down. Women should be doing the same thing too. That first person you met or those first couple of people you met, that doesn't mean that that's the person that you should choose to be with for the rest of your life. Let's face it, she's only 25 years old. Okay? When you think about it, she graduated from high school about 7 years ago. I don't think she was ready for marriage. If it was my daughter, I would be telling her, you get married when you feel, oh my God, I want to spend the rest of my life with him. You know, this is the one. Evidently, Lori wasn't feeling that. So I tip my hat to her for being a young woman that just don't go into it for the money. See, y'all talking about she's a gold digger. If she was, she would have went on to marry him. Got that money. Got that paper saying that she get half. So I don't quite see it that way. Because if that's what he wanted, think about it. Y'all said she was a gold digger. She should have jumped at that proposal then if he was thinking about being married, you know? So I tend to agree with the way she's handling it. What she looks like to me is a young woman that's in charge of her life on some certain level, that she's doing things on her terms, you know, because there's two different sides to this. There's him, and then there's her. Both of their feelings count. Think about what you would tell your two kids. That's why I use mine. I would tell my son, move on. She clearly is not ready for marriage. You don't want to pressure her into nothing. You'll find the right one. She's not the one right now. Maybe in 10 years, if you'd have met her when she was 35, maybe she'd have been ready then. But let's face it, the girl's only 25 years old. My daughter, I would tell her, girl, have your fun. You'll be, and let me tell you why I say this, y'all. You remember when we were younger, when we were teenagers, and we couldn't wait to be grown? You know, then when you get grown, you be like, Lord, they bills every month. Gotta pay this rent or this mortgage every month. Blah blah blah. I tell my kids, you have so few years to be young and carefree. So let's just say we give young people to 30 before we consider them grown. Okay, think about that. If you live to 75, you got 45 years of marriage, bills, mortgage, children, all of that, where you got to be responsible. You know, you are responsible to another human being, your partner. You have to be faithful, or you're supposed to be faithful. You're responsible to your children to provide a home and food and clothes on their back and shelter and all that. I tell my kids right now, both of them are single, they don't have any kids. When you feed yourself, you fed the whole family. When you put clothes on your back, the whole family got clothes on their back because it's just them. I want them to enjoy being young before they have all that responsibility. Travel, see the world, hang out with your friends. My daughter is constantly all over the country, flying here, flying there, and all that. Just having fun, being young, being 27, dating all kinds of guys. Every other month she's in love. She's 27. She'll call me and she'll be like, Mom, I met this guy and I want to talk about him. I really like him. And then just say his name's Tom. Then a couple of weeks later, she'll call me and be like, Mom, I met this guy. And oh, he's so cute. And I'll be like, oh, is that Tom? Oh, no, that was Tom 2 weeks ago, Mom. This week it's John. And you know how you be like, oh, okay, I got to stay up. I get off the phone and I chuckle because this is what she should be doing. You know, meeting all different kinds of guys, dating all kinds of guys, being careful, but having fun. So ease up off them. You know, I even when I mentioned it to my daughter today, I said, "Isn't this the little girl that they say is a gold digger?" looking for that big payout. I said, well, if that's the case, why she ain't married him? You know, because if that's where he was, if she had go there, she should have jumped on that. My daughter was like, you know what, Mom, you got a point. And she was like, so you don't agree with the bashing of her, of Lori Harvey? I said, Ashley, I really don't care one way or the other because she's a baby to me. I said, but since this is what's being talked about and what's said, I don't feel that what she did is wrong. Also, they had made a big thing out of her scrubbing her social media of of him. Okay, let me tell y'all something about me. I remember I had broke up with my ex, and after me and him broke up, he has a child that he still needs to pick up for weekend visits and all of that. I remember I ain't let him come to my house. When he used to pull up, he would pull up in my driveway, and I let my daughter out. I tell my daughter to go out the side door. I wouldn't go to the window. I wouldn't interact with him other than business about the child. The reason why is I didn't break up with him because I didn't care about him anymore. I broke up with him because I knew he wasn't right for me. But that's what my head knew, but my heart didn't know that. So just say he had pulled up in the driveway and he was looking particularly good that day. I might have been weak. I might have been like, well, I was with the fool for 17 years. Let me invite him on in. He could have sweet talked me because my heart was sweet. So I made it up in my mind that the easiest way to get him out of my heart is to not see him, not interact with him other than the business that we had to discuss when it came to our child. And we could do that on the phone. Even to when, now this when he said I was crazy, y'all. He probably thought I was a lunatic because he wanted to bring over my daughter's Christmas toys. And I think that the year me and him broke up was the last year she actually believed in Santa. So he wanted to bring him over and get him in my hiding place, in the house so she wouldn't see him bring it over. So because I wasn't letting him in, he had called me. He was like, yeah, I got all these toys for, our baby. I know you don't let me come in your house, but how am I get him in? Because I know you got to have a place. I said, leave him in the driveway, child. Leave him in the driveway. I said, I'll get him. He was like, leave him in the driveway. I said, well, you can pull up and put him behind the house. You don't need to come in my house. Y'all, when we got off the phone, we was calling each other a bunch of days. He told me that I was insane and that I had problems. I said, that might be the case, but you ain't coming in here. And it was the whole reason that I knew my heart was still weak for him. And I knew he could sweet talk me. So the best way to get him out of my heart was to not engage, y'all. So maybe that's why the Lori Harvey scrubbed him from everything. Because if she was seeing his tweets and, you know, just everything. You know how if you're a friend to them on Facebook, you still see what's going on in their lives, and you're like, you know what, maybe I need to go back. And it's also probably a matter of there's stuff that went down in their relationship that we don't know about. So I say leave those young folk alone. Let them do what they do. If they don't feel they should be together, they know better than we do. But I just thought it curious that they was calling this girl a gold digger. And she very well may be because she ain't dating folk that work at gas stations and McDonald's and Popeyes and all that, So she is only dating fellas that got big bank, big names. So on that tip, okay, she only date them with money. But I don't see the issue. They're young. He needs to find somebody that's where he is and leave that girl alone and let her sow her wild oats, y'all. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments. And thanks for watching the video. And